All right. Mic check real quick. Let's see. Does that work? Looks like it's working. All right. Okay, looks like things are working. Sort of. Okay, now it looks like it's working. Um, what is getting a notification here? Telling me something's wrong. Okay, what's going on? Audio stream. Bit rate is low. Is my audio not going through? Oh, no, looks like the audio is going through. Okay, audio is going through. That's good. Now, just, oh, here it is. Okay, here's the window I need to close. All right, close that. Perfect. I don't know why it's telling me that. Maybe the volume on it's low. I can up that a little. Let's see now. Maybe it's better. Whatever. Hello. There we go. All right. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully, someone shows up today. Understandable if not, though. We'll see. See how it goes. I was surprised at the amount of artists who are actually into football or soccer or sports in general. Not that you can't be into that stuff if you're an artist. I always find it surprising. All right. Today should be fun painting wise. I am not painting this anymore. This is not done, but it's going to be taking a bit of a break. Where's my escape? Oh, there we go. So, I'm going to be starting a new painting in just a little bit. I'm going to leave this one on the easel for a moment while I prep my palette, just because I know some people watched me paint it and I wanted to show the stage it's at right now. Uh, but yeah, So I will get back to this one amongst the many others I need to finish, but yeah, I need to dedicate, I don't know, like a month of just like nothing but finishing paintings at this stage. The unfortunate part is that some of these paintings that I need to finish, I cannot do on stream. They're just not gonna, it's just not gonna work. It is really hard to finish some paintings on stream. It's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the mental demand of like paying attention to stream, or if it's the fact that I can't like get close enough sometimes, or maybe it's all of the above and more, like just getting into the zone kind of thing. Could be that. All right. So today is the reason I said it's going to be fun is because it's going to be an unusual palette today. If I can find the necessary pink, that is. But yeah, should be fun. It's not only the palette though. I also have an idea for this painting, which I hope will translate well to something really fun. Ah, here it is. Nope, not it. Oh yeah, it is. All right, found the paint I need. That's a good start. We're using phthalo green today. Phthalo green and quinacridone rose. That's the palette for today. That's it. Oh, and white. So yeah, so that's going to be the palette for today. Should be fun, interesting colors, interesting arrangement. One of the important things is to not have it be, what's it called? Uh, Delegated to light and shadow only. So it'll be, challenging, which is the whole idea. All right, I'm going to start by mixing up some colors because there's a bit of nuance supposedly in the mixing that I'm going to try and hit. So we'll start off by just mixing the color with some white. I need to put out some more white. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Quinacridone rose with some white. Just to give a base, Is that important? Not important. Okay, then. All right. So yeah, very, very straightforward. Just to get a, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to get a point of reference. That is such a pretty color. All right, now let's grab some of each. That does create a nice black. And it creates a pretty good neutral gray. Awesome. There we go. So some point of reference for my colors as I go through the painting. And basically, this is my range from this to this, with those lights involved. And that is it. So to sketch in my drawing, I am going to use quinacridone rose, not phthalo, because phthalo has a tendency to um, just kind of corrupt everything and like get into everything. So, so yeah. Um, all right. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward, relatively speaking, portrait, kind of almost at a profile, not quite profile, but close. Does have her hand in view, so it made my life a little harder there. Mm, more like that, I think. I do use my midpoints quite a bit as a loose grid. Um, I find the regular grid to be a little um, too stiff. It's a good technique, but I end up being too stiff with it. The just the mid-size grid, I find helps me find my points, but lets me also focus on the painting. Uh, However, if I were to do a much bigger painting, uh, there's a good chance I'd put in maybe another line or two to add a few more points. So interesting how what we focus on changes our perception of its size. Huh. I wonder if I only put one layer of the acrylic matte medium. Usually I can wipe down to the paper. Huh. That's a little odd. I don't usually use solvents in my painting, but sometimes they're definitely useful. It's just they're give you a headache or they're very toxic. But they can do more than just a headache. They are very toxic. None of my cats are in here right now, though, in my room. I wouldn't call it ventilated, but it has enough ventilation to use a little bit. I'm really wondering what's going on with my view count because my view count keeps like rising, but the amount of viewers I have does like that are actually sticking around isn't rising. So I wonder what is going on with that. I wonder if that's normal. I should ask someone. That's so weird. Anyways, if anyone's in here, if anyone's, there's any viewers currently, you're welcome to sign in and chat and ask questions if you have any, um, or just talk art, whatever you're in the mood for. Yeah, I definitely don't want to go that strong for the green. All right. Let's start mixing. I wonder if it's some kind of bot system that is botting my channel for some reason. I don't know why anybody would. I definitely have not paid for that, so I don't know, but just I'm so curious what is going on. I should be using a bigger brush for this part. Actually, I should be using a bigger brush, period. I just don't feel like dealing with grabbing a new brush. So I'm going to probably be doing the whole thing with this one brush. Wait, I'm going to try and keep a lot of this very neutral um, because I only want certain areas to pop with the individual colors that I'm using. So it's going to be a lot of grays for a lot of this. Which I always think is funny to have like these very, very strong, colors and then to mute it all down to be mostly gray. It's kind of funny to me. I love how easily it goes black or dark. So satisfying. I admit I'm using a little more solvent. I normally don't use any solvent in my painting techniques. But because I'm not gonna use the brayer probably at all, I'm not gonna be able to smear everything around like I normally do. Yeah, it's just easier. I'll probably go crack the window in a minute and put the fan in. I do have a fan specifically for this. It pushes air out my window directly. Also, the container I have is very, very small. And the actual container doesn't, the internal volume of the container doesn't matter, but the surface, what's it called? The size of the surface does. And it's a very small container. And the reason that matters is um, the what's it called? Solvent evaporates from the surface. So reduced surface area, reduce evaporation. All right, let's close it up. That's enough. Let me turn the fan on. I need to add some white to my palette. Okay, maybe I'll use the brayer a little. There's still too many white spots for my liking, but it'll be much more limited than normal. Yeah, I will, but very limited. Even be using the smaller one. Just I don't want those like absolute white spots. I don't mind seeing more of the paper, but I don't want the like bare spots. Also, this apparently picks up a lot more when I use Gamsol. I didn't know that. In fact, it picks up so much, I'm going to switch to a different one. If I can find it. Where'd you go? Supposed to be right there. Huh? That's weird. That's very weird. Huh. Did I move it? Oh, okay then. That is very strange. Okay, here it is. I got it. Yeah, it still picks up a ton more because of the Gamsol. Doesn't normally do this, but all good. Especially considering what I'm planning for this painting. No problem with this at all. All right. Need to make a little room here. So I'm mixing, clearly I'm mixing my black, but I don't want it to be, you know, full black. I want to have a little room to maneuver into even darker darks at some point. So, all right. Now, before I can continue, I need to check something on the computer, make sure everything's okay. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, not that bad. I'm trying to record while I what's it called? Stream, but I gotta make sure it doesn't take up too much space. Because I will literally run out of room on my computer. So there's that. All right. So I'm going to try something new. And it's very much an experiment because I do not have, what's it called? I don't have any reference for this. And it's going to be very much a back and forth figuring it out as I go. So I'm trying to create a kind of broken effect for part of the painting. We'll see how well it translates into the effect I want. I can always just wipe everything and go back to quote unquote normal. But we'll see. This is also just the early stages, so you know, doesn't have to be perfect. There's a reason I don't really paint with transparency. And this is why. We'll see. I'm not sure how much of this will stay till the end, exactly as is, but we'll see. Now that I'm doing it, it's funny because I'm realizing that there's this artist that I like. I can't remember their name, and it's kind of reminding me of their stuff unintentionally. Like I'm not trying to copy them, although I can already see their influence on this. So it's a little funny. She's looking a little alien at the moment. but not quite the look I was actually going for, but see if I can do anything to improve that shortly. I think it looks pretty cool. So far, so good. Not bad for less than an hour of work. Quick coffee break. Still going to be here. I'm just grabbing my coffee. Yeah, it's just looking kind of alien though. It's kind of cool. You don't look anything like this in the photo. Hey, Des, welcome. You had to run to the hardware store? No worries. How you doing? Oh, excuse me. I had to change something minor with my what's it called? With my microphone settings. Let me know if anything is. Let me know if it's horrible, basically. How was the hardware store today? Super busy? I actually expected it to not be very busy, so yeah. So new painting today. I didn't finish the old painting, but since you're here, I'll show it to you. Um, I worked on it a bit on my own, but I never got around to finishing it, unfortunately. Um, I will finish it, just not, not today. Everything's there at this point. It's just going in and cleaning it up. It's like, okay, all the colors are there, everything's there. Now just go in and, you know, clean up all the bits. So if you need a better view of it, you can go to the beginning of the stream. It's there. When is your next class or deadline for that place that isn't finished? So the painting that isn't finished, like I already, like turned it in, so to speak. I told my teacher it wasn't done, but he's like, yeah, it's fine. I can. He's like, everything that's there is there. Like I can see it already. It's not a problem. So this is the next one. It's due Saturday. So if I can, I'll get this one done and the other one done. But realistically, just this one. I also have some work to make up today because on Friday I had a migraine and wasn't very productive at work. And I kind of need to make up for that. So yeah. So this painting is um, just three pigments, um, and they're two complementary pigments and white. So I'm using quinacridone rose and phthalo emerald. Um, and that's it. I don't have to use those colors. It is um, purely up to me which colors I use. But the idea is to use complementary colors. So sorry, you had to step away. Oh, no worries, Des. Yeah, there's another assignment. Um, the one that I didn't finish, I'm probably not going to finish anytime soon. I already handed it in. The teacher, he basically was like, "Yeah, it's cool. I can pretty much see, you know, I can pretty much tell what you were doing and going for and everything." Um, so yeah, this one's another one. Uh, if I can, I'll finish the other one as the other homework as well. I just don't know that I'll have the time. This one is complementary colors. So it's two complementary colors and white. That is all. And I picked Phthalo Emerald and Quinacridone Rose because um, I don't use my Phthalo Emerald nearly enough. So I'm like, well, I'll u- I'll use a pigment I don't get to use a lot. A- Avian Arts, welcome. The colors look good on it. You like the purples? Yeah. Not Phthalo Emerald. Quinacridone Rose is a beautiful color, and it's very, very, very versatile as well. Phthalo Emerald, on the other hand, also a beautiful color. I just don't get to use it enough. I bought it because I thought I would have it on my palette all the time, and I do not. I almost never, basically, I never use it. So, but yeah, the what's it called? Quinacridone Rose is one of my favorite colors. And it's not just my favorite colors visually to look at, it's also one of my functionally favorite colors. Like I have a hard time painting without it. But these two colors are not unique, but it's hard. Like it's not all pigments are practically perfectly complementary like these ones are. There are some, obviously. They're not the only two. Um, and so they make a really nice black together. In fact, Gamblin sells a pre-mixed black of this, which is chromatic black. Gamblin's chromatic black is actually just the mix of these two pigments. And that's originally why I bought Phthalo Emerald. As like, why buy the black when I can buy the two pigments and mix it myself? You know, kind of makes sense. The problem I ran into is that other than mixing black, I had zero use for the Phthalo Emerald in my general day-to-day painting, so I stopped using it. So now on my normal palette, I use Mars Black instead. Although I kept the quinacridone rose because I really love that color. Anyone who's new here or who wasn't in earlier, this is a painting exercise I'm doing for uh, a class with Nicholas Uribe. Uh, I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel, Our Painted Lives. He's a fantastic painter. Highly recommend him. And the exercise is just to use complementary colors in what like two complementary colors in white, and that's it. Nothing else in the painting. So, but the catch is not to do like it doesn't have to be a gray painting. I'm choosing to make it a lot of gray, but it doesn't have to be. Um, I'm choosing to make it gray because I'm going to be throwing in some pops of color, and I want them to pop. And you say, I need that contrast to make it work. And if anyone is new here who hasn't been to the channel before, you're welcome to ask questions, talk art in general, whatever. It's all good. I, I don't mind talking while I paint, to the best of my ability at least. But will be some pauses occasionally. Bez says, I'm impatient. I have to let my painting dry some before I can continue. I suppose I could start another one. Uh, yeah, yeah, absolutely could. And I feel that I know I tend to be impatient as well. It's starting to come together a little more. Uh, Ebri, greetings, Leot. How are you? Gorgeous color in this painting. Uh, Thank you. I'm doing all right. Trying to deal with a bit of a migraine. Uh, I've had since Friday. It's on its way out, luckily. But yeah, thanks for asking. How are you doing? Des says, I saw this little girl at the store who just had fantastic face planes, and you wanted so much to paint her, but that would just be creepy if I told her mom, wow, your little girl has great face planes. That would be a little weird, yeah. Uh, Everybody says, I'm enjoying the super palette this year is wild. Oh, really? Um, cool. I'm glad. I don't yeah, I don't really watch sports. So I'm glad it's a good game. Oh, this is the super palette. I gotcha. Oh, thank you. Today it's an exercise. It's another exercise day for my class with Nicholas Aribe, and it's a complimentary palette of my choosing, which I chose um, Phthalo Emerald and Quinacridone Rose. And white. You get to use white as well. Bro, my joke failed. I'm so sorry. Nah, no, you're all good. It's probably my fault. My brain's just not, you know, not with it. Damn, that's a long class. It's awesome that he really is giving you time to absorb and do these lessons. It's an 8-week class, which is very common for like art classes. It's not a workshop, it's a class. Workshops are usually between a day. Usually they're like a day to 2 days, but they can also stretch to like a week or two for like really long ones. Some of the ones that are like overseas or something. Um, but yeah, most art classes I think roughly are about 8 weeks is a very common length. So it's good though. I mean, I'm not trying to take away from it. It's a good class. So yeah. The reason I chose Phthalo Emerald and Quinacridone Rose was because I bought a tube of Phthalo Emerald uh, to use with my Quinacridone Rose in my normal palette because they make a black, but I ended up basically never using it, so I took it off of my palette. I generally try to not keep any paint on my palette, any color, if I'm not going to use it regularly. There's no point. Like, don't get me wrong, you cannot, you can open up the tube when you need it if there's a special case, but otherwise it shouldn't be there if you're not going to use it. That's my thought at least. But the thing is too, like I said, I'm going to try and make it so that it's not just a gray painting or purple. I'm going to be going in and adding in little pops of color, like well, kind of like I've already started doing. Is it looking really dark at the moment? It's hard to tell on different screens. Is it looking really dark? Because I can lighten it up a little bit if need be. It looks dark but nice, like medium dark, not like hard to see at all. Okay, cool. I mean, it is a bit dark, and don't get me wrong, it's a bit of a dark painting. but there's dark because the colors are dark, and there's dark because there's not enough light. So one of the things I'm trying to avoid with this painting is um, there's a painter, Andrew Kadima. I've painted him. I actually did a painting of him before. Great painter. This is not a criticism on his paintings at all, but he does do something with some of his paintings that I'm trying to avoid because that's just not the exercise right now. Not, like I said, not criticism in any way. He does these paintings that are like he'll do like two pigments or like two colors, and or three. And so he'll do like he did a painting that was like pink and green, which beautiful painting. He's so good. He's such a good painter. Um, but the way he, because he's limiting himself so much, what he does is he essentially makes one of them. Ebri says he has a very specific way of painting. Yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah, absolutely. He's great. I love his paintings. I've been following him for years. But what I'm trying to say is his when he does those paintings that are limited to like two colors, he has to use one as like his light and one as his dark, essentially, because there's no other options. Um, and I'm trying to avoid doing that. So I want both of these colors to have moments of light and moments of dark mixed in throughout. So I have to kind of choose where they go and why. Um, you know, I could do it so that like the figure's all red and the background's all green, but once again, that's splitting everything too much. I want the colors to be mixed together more, integrated together more, which is harder. And Des, to go back to what you were saying about asking some random person to take a photo of them, uh, especially like little, not even going to say it, especially if you find someone who's younger and with their parents and so on. Yeah, it's weird. It's not a comfortable thing, and you know, I feel like it's one of those things that better just left alone. Try to commit, the interesting aspects of their face to memory, and you know, that's about it. I once had someone. This is when I was in art school. I was at the um, I was at the art store, and some guy was like, um, "Oh my God, I gotta paint you," and I was like, "I'm sorry, me?" He's like, "Yeah, okay," but never happened. I don't know. I still wonder if he was, you know, looking for something other than a model or something. I don't know. Nah, he never painted me. I gave him my phone number. I was like, all right, if you want, we can work something out. And yeah, nothing happened with that. I had a bunch of people in art school paint me because I filled in for the models when the model wouldn't show up or something. Never in the nude or anything like that. Just sitting up there, you know, uncomfortable. And it is uncomfortable. Oh my God. Modeling for painting, ugh, miserable experience. It is so hard. Did I have to wear a Speedo and be very cold? No, no Speedos. Just me sitting up there in my regular clothes. It just the process of like not moving is so much harder than you think it is. Well, hello, cat. There is a cat. I will say hello to the cat. Then I will pick her up and put her on screen. Nope, not the what I wanted. Face cam. There we go. Hi, little girl. I know. You don't really like being picked up. I know. I know. Aw, but you're so pretty. Everyone wants to see you, even though you're not a fan of it. I know. I know. She's getting better. She's getting more used to it. She used to be very, very against it. She's slowly getting better. So we just got to keep doing it. Do it more and more. Yeah, isn't that right, little girl? Okay, I'll put you down. I'll put you down just a second. Good girl. You did so good, Winnie. Don't get it in my paint. Uh, Too late. It's a I have hair in my paint always. There's no getting around it. It's impossible. It's just there. There's nothing I can do at this point. It's done deal. Her name is technically Winter, but we call her Winnie for short. But yeah, it's a losing battle. There's hair in my paint. That's it. Like I can't stop that from happening. There's hair on my for infusion. Yeah. There's hair on my clothes. There's hair, like, our house is just covered in fur. And I don't have a good there's just nothing I can do about it. Winter is my wife's friend's name. My friend's wife name. Sorry, got that backwards. That's funny. And my friend's dog name is Winnie. Oh, that's so cute. All right, one more time. We're going to pick you up, and then I'm going to put you down and get back to painting. Okay, little girl? I know. You're doing so good. So good. She just reminded me of like a winter cat, Like she has that like color and look to her. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, little girl. I am painting right now. I'm sorry. She wants more attention, but she doesn't want me to hold her. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. She's a lynx. She kind of looks like it. That's why winter. Yeah. All right, little girl. Come on. Go on. Go. Yeah. It literally was a tuft of hair. Stuff like that I will of course pull off my painting. But yeah. Usually it's just like a random, stray hair here and there. I pull them out when I can, but can't always get them. I figure if what's his name, you know, if Van Gogh can have bugs in his painting, I can have cat hair on my painting. And he's not the only one. A lot of painters have all kinds of insects and hairs and stuff in their paintings. So. There is a cat here who likes to climb uh, your unstable art supply shelf, and it wobbles and you panic every time. You have to tie it to the wall with a screw and yarn. That's funny. But she won't give up her attempts. Yeah. You'll add shrimp shells to your next painting, Every. That's a good idea. Yeah. Uh yeah, I have to watch my cats and make sure they don't do anything they're not supposed to in my studio. Um God forbid, God forbid I open the blinds or open the window and Dresden is reminded that there's a window in this room and he has to go see what's going on at the window. Has to. He gets obsessed with it to the point where I literally can't have him in the room while I have the window open because he will not stop. And he wants to get to the window, and I have a table full of art supplies in front of the window, and he wants to just jump all over that and get into everything. Yeah. So there's just so much to see. I know there's so much to see. And at the same time, really not all that much to see. But, they got to see it all. But cats are the thing I the thing I don't understand is I don't understand how Dresden, all cats, but Dresden in particular, I don't understand how he can be so curious about everything and at the same time so dumb where he doesn't understand anything. It's like, how are you curious yet you don't understand anything? Like, I don't get it. It's a very strange combination. So what is the assignment for the painting? The assignment for the painting is uh, just to do two complementary colors in white. That's the assignment. Colors of our choice, painting of our choice, all of that of our choice. He is easily entertained and just happy to be there. Yeah, he is. Definitely. I was thinking about buying uh, one of those like hamster wheels for cats. The like running wheels for cats. Don't know. I'm worried he'll kill himself on it, or that he just won't use it. I've never seen them in person, but they're not as expensive as I thought they were going to be. Oh, well, that sounds awesome. Yeah. I mean, he loves to run. He like loves running. So I'm wondering if that would be good for him. Block stairs if it moves. No, 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 it doesn't move. It's just a wheel that they run on. Not one of those balls. It's just like a treadmill type of thing. Just a big circle. Just worried he's gonna like launch himself out of it, if he even uses it. Maybe put cushions around it so if he falls, he'll land into safety. Uh, that says they are very agile. Yeah. And Avery, I agree. Maybe some cushions around. Yeah. Yeah. They are agile, but there's a limitation to the agility that they have, despite the reputation. Yeah, have you ever seen the ones where they're running and then they stop and they go like launching out of the thing? That's what I'm worried about. I actually was watching a video today that was supposedly a like funny compilation, and some of the videos were funny, but every once in a while, you know, like I'll laugh at people and animals getting hurt if it's like minor, if it's like, oh, I walked into a door and I'm fine, like I'll laugh my ass off. But if ever I'm concerned that like they didn't recover, I don't find it funny. Um, yeah. I I watched this one video that made me laugh repeatedly so many times because it was like nothing. It was a video of a kid. It was like a doorbell video or a security video of a kid trying to get back inside. Um, and the little kid and their dog. And the kid goes up the stairs and smacks into the door because they didn't realize it was a glass door. And that was funny. But then the dog comes in after the kid. And they're both fine. Nothing happened. Other than them feeling probably pretty stupid. But it was very funny. But like I said, like they're fine. No one got hurt, you know. I think the part that was so funny about it was that the kid did it and then a few seconds later, but like it wasn't like the dog didn't have time to stop. The dog had plenty of time to stop, but just went straight for it anyways. Uh, You two have done that? I think everybody has probably done that at some point in their life. I don't remember ever doing it personally. I remember my mom doing it. Wholesome fails? Yeah. Pretty sure I've walked into a pole before, just walking, not paying attention to where I'm going kind of thing. Yeah. Whatever. The thing that happens to me, or has happened to me in the past, is not like necessarily like glass window or pole or anything like that. It's usually branches because I'm looking down and they hang like in between where my vision is and where my top of my head is, kind of thing. Same, yeah, yeah. Gotta be able to laugh at yourself a little, or at least it's healthier. And I'm not even that good at that. Like I take myself too seriously in general. Why so serious? Good question. I don't know, but I know what you're referencing. Do I have any favorite comedians? Yeah, absolutely. Um, George Carlin, always been a favorite. Um, I loved Jimmy. Is it Jimmy? No, wait. Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks. However, some of his stuff doesn't hold up with the times as well, unfortunately. You know, he he did pass away before he had time to get with the times, kind of thing. So, you know, what you're gonna do. Um, who else? I do like Bill Burr. I don't know if he's one of my favorites, but I do like him. I used to like Chappelle. Not so much anymore. Um, you'll have to look them up. Like I said, some of the language that what's his name, Bill Hicks uses, it's just like, that's not, that's not right. But like I said, he passed away. I think he passed away when what was it? It's in the 90s, I think. So yeah. Make an AI in honor of his comedy? No. They already tried that. They're suing. And no, absolutely not. Yeah, they did one of George Carlin, uh, and yeah, no one almost was a fan of that. And yeah, they are, like I said, they're suing. His daughter is suing. And the comedian who it's actually a comedian who did it. I hope he really suffers you know some financial uh consequences for that. Diabolical. Yeah, no. It was a cheap money grab. They were trying to make money off of someone else's, off of someone else's work. Don't do that. All right. Before I continue to get into the details of this, I'm gonna take a photo and make sure my placement is close to accurate before I actually start. Before I get too far, and placing everything will be a huge a huge pain. So there's all kinds of techniques and ways of doing this. My main go-to right now is just to take a photo of it, upload it to my computer, overlay um, overlay the painting and the reference on top of each other, and do it that way. It's not perfect. I have yet to find a perfect technique, but it is one that's fairly easy for me to do. And the other thing is I have all the tools I need for that, which is something that I don't have for a lot of other techniques. Although I keep mentioning this, I am thinking about buying a projector for the stream. I wonder if it will if it'll be good for the stream or not. I don't know how it'll look on stream is the one of the issues. Not the only issue, but one of them. All right, I am off screen for a second. Let's zoom in. You can see the painting a little better. There we go. All right, I'm going to be off screen for just a second as I get this ready. I do not have my computer set up to show what I'm doing on screen. And that is, as I've said in the past, on purpose. I do not want to accidentally leak any NDAs. You know, that would be bad for me. So. But the basics of it is I just download the photo onto my computer and I put it in Photoshop. I use a filter called glowing edges, and that allows me to see the edges of my reference, and I overlay that on top of my painting, and that just helps me place everything. I then can use my paint strokes as landmarks for where everything needs to go. Like I said, it's not perfect because the camera has distortion and it's not a perfect linear distortion. So you can't what's it called? You can't rely on it perfectly, but you know, it's close enough. Alrighty. So, pretty cool. I'm a little off on some things, but I'm pretty close. Pretty darn close with a lot of it. The hold on. I need to see my OBS. Yeah. So the eye is spot on. That is spot on. The face is a little too far out. Like it's extended a little bit. Not too bad. Hands pretty close. Especially this finger here. Ears a little off. I need to go in and fix that. The hair is because of how I'm doing the hair, not the matter as much. Yeah. This is also a good way to test your accuracy and I think over time also improve your accuracy. Forehead spot on too. Just, I mean, a little, but for this, the spike, but that's fine. Excuse me. Ooh, sorry about that. Alrighty. The forms are forming. Yeah, they are. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's coming together. Right now, like I said, I'm just going to go in and correct some of the things that are slightly out of place. Um, I didn't want to. I didn't want to start like getting into the painting, and render everything only to then come back and replace it all. So I often, or in the past, I've used a what's it called, the wipeout tool to draw back in to my painting, and I think it's a great tool for that. But the disadvantage is if you don't paint over those places while the paint is still wet, you'll be left with uh, ridges that you might not want in your painting, and it's kind of become an issue in the past. So I stopped doing that. If I know I'm going to have time to paint everything in one, like go over everything in one sitting, then there's no problem with it. But yeah, I I, I kind of avoid it now because of that. Yeah, the ear I messed up on big time though. That is a really off. Surprising how off you can be sometimes. But one thing I will say is in case anyone's not familiar, my very cheesy painting motto is no fear. The idea being to just not be afraid of making mistakes. So the fact that the ear is was in the wrong place. You know, not a big deal. Just go back in and fix it, which is relatively easy to do in oil paints. Yeah, so a lot of it's was really close to being where it needed to be. That finger is way too thick at the moment, but it will thin out in a minute. Now that I think about it, I wonder if if any of my friends that live in the area have projectors. Maybe I can try out their projector before I buy one. It's more because it's more that I want it for the stream than I do for my personal use. Because I hate having to go to my computer midstream and like just do that kind of thing. I don't know. Do I play music while you're working on things on stream? Yeah, I have earbuds in. I'm listening to music at the moment. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Asking a friend. Yeah, I would play music on stream, like so you all could hear it as well. There's too many problems with that. Um, so I just gave up on it and I listen to music and you know, you all can listen to music on your own if you want. Like if you want me to have a soundtrack, you go for it. I thought about like having uh, I thought about having something on screen that like shows what I'm playing. Uh, but you know, that's on the back burner as not very important. But you know, if I get around to it, I'll get around to it, kind of thing. I don't think people really care. The music is an issue because of copyright. They'll delete your videos or stop you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They will they'll demonetize me. Not that I'm monetized at the moment, but they can. They can delete my channel. It just it puts me at risk of all kinds of things. Um, and then the other issue is that, like, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think a lot of people are gonna like my choice of music. Uh, so that's another thing. And don't get me wrong, some people will love it, but whatever. Like the majority. So it ended up being like I do miss it. I used to stream on Twitch exclusively and I used to play music. But it's just not worth it, you know. If somebody wants to listen to music while while I paint, I feel like they can manage it on their own. So that's all. I do wish I had some kind of music for like the starting music. That I do wish I had like a starting and a be right back jingle kind of thing. I feel like uh that would be cool to have. I could potentially play some video game music uh, because a lot of video games they don't what's it called? They don't care. Or actually, you know what? I take that back. I bought a pack of music, copyright free music a while ago. Could use that too, now that I think about it. I don't know why I didn't think about it prior. There's some kind of humble bundle thing happening, and I bought this huge bundle of music that it's not copyright free. It's licensed, but I basically bought the license to it. I do think it's silly. Like I'm copyright is such a complicated subject, and I don't, I feel like a lot of people will not engage with the nuance of copyright of it, but you know, the reality is it is a complicated subject, and I feel like there's times where it doesn't do enough and times where it does too much. You know. Oh, nice! You got the lesson. Yeah, yeah. It was like a humble bundle purchase thing. There are those services you can subscribe to that if you watch YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers who like advertise, all these services that give you like music or video that you can use stock images and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I feel like it goes a little too far sometimes, especially with the music when I'm just like, no one no one's coming to my stream as a radio alternative, right? Like, it's just it's kind of silly. Um, like I said, I feel like sometimes they go too far with things, but whatever. Also, I feel like and this is something I'm still shocked YouTube hasn't done. Um, YouTube could theoretically, like, all the people watching me on YouTube right now, right? So you all are watching me. If I play a video that's a YouTube video, whether it be music or video, doesn't matter. If I play a YouTube video right now, YouTube can know how many of my viewers are, watching whatever it is I'm playing, and theoretically could split any kind of revenue or any kind of anything. Not that I'm making anything off of YouTube, but theoretically could split that and calculate it out and share that revenue, and that would allow people to do watch parties and react parties and listen alongs or whatever they want to do on YouTube. I'm to this day shocked that they haven't done that. They haven't implemented that. Yeah, I do wonder who's going to do that first. If Twitch is going to do that with Amazon Prime, like Prime Video or something. They could theoretically do that too. All right, what time is it? It's almost 4. All right, I'm going to be getting off stream soon. I am. For anyone who came in late, I've been battling a migraine since Friday, and while I am doing better, uh, I'm still definitely not at 100% right now. So I'm going to be calling it a little early today, unfortunately. But having said that, I think I made a lot of really good progress today. I think this was a really productive painting day. Um, and for anyone who is new here and doesn't know, I stream 3 times a week. I stream Monday night, Wednesday night, and Sunday day. I'm in Austin, Texas, so everything I say is Central Time. Do your own conversions. Sorry. But yeah, I stream 3 times a week. Um, Questions are always welcome. Painting conversations are always welcome. If anyone's watching the video after the fact, welcome to ask or comment in the comments, ask questions in the comments, any of that stuff. This is really looking awesome. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah. Um, yeah, no, it's coming along nicely. I think it was a really good painting session so far. But I definitely need a break. I can feel my neck and back just being like, yeah, it's essentially a tension headache. My neck is killing me. That's what's been causing all the problems. But I'm all right. I'm doing okay. And I'm really happy with it so far. So I'll be working on this tomorrow and Wednesday. Well, yeah, tomorrow and Wednesday. So yeah. Thank you all for joining me. Appreciate it. All my contacts and stuff are, in the description and all the normal stuff. And thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think that's about it. So have a good one, everybody, and have a great rest of your weekend.